All right, good. Or late af. Late. I am Coach Big Pete of Deep Dish Football and the Wimmer Report. Again, my email is coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com if you have any questions. Deep Dish Football Stop 2 is in the books. Downers Grove North High School. Thank you to the Downers Grove North staff, players, and head coach Harini for letting me stop by today. Much appreciated. Very impressed. Again, a guy that's known in the area, um, and knows the area, and a great hire from last year, Harini for DGN, and I do consider Harini one of the best hires in the state from last year. I thought that was one of the top guys that DGN could have hired. I think he fits the spot perfectly, and I think he's going to get that. I think he's going to take that program above and beyond. And I think basically that we're going to be talking about them as title contenders in a couple of years. And I love what he's doing with the team. I love his coaching staff. I think it's a good coaching staff. And I think you couldn't have asked for a better way of hitting it off from Coach Wander to Coach Harini. I thought it was done perfectly, and this team's. I'm very impressed with the coaching staff that he has on the DGN thing. Really impressed with Farini's practice that he ran, and this was the second. I'm probably mistaken, but it was a well-run install practice camp. The first hour I was there. Very impressed with Caston's quarterback. Impressed with the group of wide receivers. Impressed with their linebackers. Impressed with some of their defensive backs. I think what's going to be key is their offensive and defensive line this season for Downers Grove North. I think that's going to be huge. The first two games, Buffalo Grove and Addison Trail, two must-wins for them. I think the third game that they have, if I'm not mistaken, is York High School. I think that's going to be their biggest game in their schedule. I think it's between them or York, and whoever wins that game is going to get into the playoffs. Really am impressed overall, especially from what I was hearing and talking, especially with the amount of freshmen that are incoming into that program. I think that's a good starter for Downers Grove North. And overall, very impressed with, like I said, Cassins. I think he's one of their top playmakers. Good group of linebackers / wide receivers. And I think, like I said, those first two games, especially Buffalo Grove, they got to get off the ball. They got to win that game. If they get the two first W's going into York, they get the third W, they're going to be in the playoffs. Overall, their Pasquarelli's graduated. Bryant has graduated. They got two other all-conference players that graduated as well for Downers Grove North. It'll be very interesting to see, especially how that line holds up, especially if the likes against Glenbard West. Who am I missing? OPR, if they play OPRF, if I'm not mistaken. DGS, that's going to be a really good game. That's a good rivalry game. DGS versus DGN is going to be a top game. But overall, good coaching staff. Harini doing a good job with DGN. Very impressed with Castins. Very impressed with that backfield that DGN has. I can say that I'm looking for, again, I think the big game is York versus DGN. But also another game that I'm looking towards too is DGN versus Hinsdale Central, because that'd be a very interesting game. You got maybe I'm thinking two. They got two games in the WSC coaches changes in Lyons Township High School and Hinsdale Central, so it should be interesting. Also keep an eye out for they got a nice little running back as well. Forgetting his last name from DGN, but again, should be interesting. For me, I think the biggest teller for this season is going to be their average run yards for DGN. I think they can get the ball off. and basically how many sacks they give up. I think that's going to be a huge key for DGN this season. So it should be an interesting season for Downers Grove North. Hopefully, I can catch one of the games again. But overall, impressed with Downers Grove North. And again, they're building for a brighter future at Downers Grove North. In a couple of years, like I said, we're going to be talking about them being contenders for the state for the title game. So it should be interesting. And again, if you like my work, feel free to follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com if you have any questions. And if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip. I'll put the link on the bottom via PayPal. Thank you so much. Thanks again to Downers Grove North. Thank you to Coach Harini, staff. Again, good staff. I recognize some of the old faces as well. I think it's a really solid staff. You couldn't ask for a better staff coaching those kids. Very impressed with the kids, the way that they responded to the coaches, especially during install. Very impressed with that. I've seen some horrible installs on some days where some kids are just too tired or just don't care. I was very impressed with the Downers Grove North kids and the players saw it and the response to the coach. So it should be an interesting season. Good luck to Downers Grove North this season, and have a lovely day.